Hey, how's it going, everybody? Charlie Wilson here, aka Sinister Charlie. Welcome back. Hello, how are you? What do U.S. Navy sailors do during their off time? If you don't know, I was in the Seabees, so I've never been on a ship. I was in the Navy. I don't know what they do in their off time, but what we did is get drunk. There was a lot of that. A lot of beach time. I was on the West Coast. I was in Port Hueneme, California, for most of the time. Stationed in Greece. Look, any 18-year-old to his into his 25 or 26 maybe would go to like a strip club or maybe go to a massage parlor. I know in Okinawa I went to a banana show during my off time. So maybe your experience differs, but we did a lot of stupid stuff. Imagine what a college kid would do overseas. That's what we did. But this is by Navy Media. I'll subscribe to it, I suppose, and I will like it. Please also like and subscribe if you like the video, and if you subscribe to my channel. Okay, go.
As we all know, defending a country is not an easy task. Doing so
You don't know
requires
what you're
great
talking.
power, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Sure.
As soon as a naval warship is deployed from its port, its crew members on board must work constantly and ceaselessly to ensure the ship is operational and ready to provide naval support at all times. On warships like destroyers, naval sailors are required to be active for most hours of the day. At some point, however, these sailors are relieved of their daily chores.
Oh, and I'm assuming like this might be mid deployment because usually during your our deployments are usually 6 to 7 months. During the middle of that, we'll like do like a big party or something like that. And I've never done it on a ship though.
And given the chance to take a breather.
Ew, Stella.
What do these sailors do during their invaluable spare time? Let's find out how they let off some steam. It's a well-known fact that being a U.S. Navy sailor is not an easy occupation. It requires being isolated at sea for long periods and away from their loved ones. As part of their initial training, these sailors are made to understand the hazards that come with being a Navy sailor. While they're at sea, they can be exposed to bad weather, drowning, shipwrecks, and many other dangers aboard the ship. This part of their training helps them prepare and avoid such.
I still don't like the new PT uniforms. The yellow, I'm not a big fan. I like that. Go back to the old white ones.
Occupational hazards. Living on a warship is not as comfortable as you probably think. The living quarters aboard a vessel are usually small and leave little to no privacy for crew members.
Yeah, screw that.
Generally, a sailor works for 4 hours and rests for 8 hours every day.
Is this the new Navy? Because I remember working like 12 to 16-hour days, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about, sir.
In other cases, a sailor can work for more hours than usual,
all right,
depending on their department and
the second one. It's going to be the second one.
Responsibilities. An average sailor works for more than 40 hours every week at sea. To ensure a sailor doesn't become super exhausted while on duty, the U.S. Navy employs a rotation system whereby sailors can move from one department to another on deployment. This helps sailors to always be battle-ready at all times on a warship. For most of these sailors, their off time is not really an off time.
Yeah, and for the first 3 years until you start making rank, you're going to be a janitor. You're going to be cleaning a lot. And when you think you're done cleaning, you're going to clean some more. So get prepared for that if you're thinking about joining the Navy.
They can use this opportunity to catch up on overdue tasks which they couldn't do during their work hours. Their off time is also a great period to perform basic chores, such as laundry and cleaning their beds.
Sure.
On some days, there could be a military task going on, like an at-sea replenishment or an aircraft coming in or leaving the flight deck. At the end of it all, on such days, when it comes down to how many hours a sailor gets in his free time, what should have been around 8 hours of rest becomes 3 hours at most. Sailors do not abide by the standard 40 hours a week that most government officials are subjected to.
I mean, that's most of the military. I assume. I assume Marines and Army are the same way. Possibly not the Air Force. I don't know what they do. I know what they do. I've been stationed with a few Air Force guys. They're pretty cool. Coast Guard's probably doing a lot.
For U.S. Navy sailors, their work week is divided into 3 sections. Unlike Sundays being the start of their work week, Thursday, which is usually the day their ship is deployed, is their day 1.
Okay.
And their work cycle repeats itself until the day they return to port. That means crew members do not have weekends off, including Sundays.
Yep.
Perhaps this is why some sailors lose track of time, because a new day is almost the same as the previous.
I remember being in Okinawa, and I was only doing camp maintenance, so I was doing HVAC and plumbing, and yeah, like you're working Saturdays and Sundays on deployment, but in home port, you're usually getting weekends off unless you're like on a watch duty or something.
Over the years, the U.S. Navy has made several efforts to ensure its sailors can be somewhat comfortable while risking their lives at sea. This is why some aircraft carriers have Starbucks outlets.
Ooh.
Really, in a work environment where alcohol is prohibited, what's the next best option other than a cup of hot steaming coffee to wash your tensions away? A popular way U.S. Navy sailors let off steam during their time at sea is through steel beach picnics. Pictures and videos from this event have sparked envy even in the hearts of sailors and civilians on land.
Yeah.
During a steel
Are you envious? I wouldn't be.
beach picnic, the 5,000 sailors living and working aboard an aircraft carrier come out to the ship's deck to have a good time. Steel beach picnics haven't always been a means for sailors to have fun, though. The naval tradition was conceived by the British Navy as
nice
all
jump.
hands to bathe back in the day. British naval warships were made out of wood, hence there was little to no provision for sailors to maintain their hygiene. Hence, all hands to bathe was an order for crew members to bathe in an open sea. Now, with sufficient provision made on modern-day vessels, jumping into the ocean has become a fun activity for sailors, even though it can be quite dangerous. The average aircraft carrier has its deck 60 feet above sea level. To eliminate or reduce the possibility of these sailors sustaining injuries from diving into the sea, aircraft carriers lower their hangar bay elevators to half that height. Therefore, they can jump off the ship at a height of 30 feet, even as a form of training. These picnics not only help to boost the crew's morale, but also supply the sailors with some much-needed vitamin D. Some sailors are not allowed on the deck for months, so coming out to the Steel Beach picnic is the only time they can be under the sun. The deck, which is usually 4 to 5 acres of land, becomes small when everyone aboard the ship comes out to play and mingle. Various games such as card games, checkers, football, basketball, volleyball, and jump ropes are...
I feel like we're I know this is probably an official naval YouTube channel of some sort, so I don't think we're going to see any of that red light district stuff. Wah, wah.
Just a few of the activities enjoyed
jump
by the
rope.
sailors on deck. Others settle for reading a book or sunbathing. And what's a picnic without food and drink? The head kitchen staff member decides which food is to be prepared on the deck.
Why'd you
There
put
are
that
also
onion on
coolers
there like
of
that?
ice-cold beer made available for those sailors to properly cool off. That is how Steel Beach picnics go on aircraft carriers. It is a bit different on submarines. The surface of a submarine is not only smaller in size in comparison to the deck of an aircraft carrier, but it's also curved. Hence, these dimensions leave sailors aboard a submarine with no other choice than to jump off the ship into the ocean. After a long, relaxing swim in the water, they head back to the ship to enjoy a nice hot meal. Sailors could also use their breaks to play video games with their peers, get a tan, or study for courses required for them to be promoted. Some sailors would bring their gaming consoles aboard during deployment so that they can play games like Warcraft and Dungeons. Bring their gaming consoles.
Shut up, you. Dude, PS3, man. I kind of wish I would have kept mine instead of selling it. But yeah, that's a nice PS3, buddy.
Consoles aboard during deployment so that they can play games like Warcraft and Dungeons and Dragons with their fellow sailors. They can also play these games with their loved ones back at home through the power of the internet. Other games like checkers, dominoes, chess, and card games
we know
are
those exist.
Also frequently spotted with U.S. sailors. Crew members could also use their off time to explore other hobbies of theirs.
Cool.
Sailors could enjoy writing, reading, singing, and dancing as well. Sometime in the mid-1800s, an association known as the American Seamen's Friends Society was created.
I still laugh at it too, man. It's fun. It's fun, that word. Seaman.
Their goal was to provide sailors with books and simultaneously boost their morale and social skills. Music has also proven to be a great way for crew members to pass time on ships. Some songs, such as sea shanties, help sailors while working. During their off time, sailors could gather around and sing songs or tell tales as a form of
I
entertainment.
felt like she was screaming at
Sailors
me.
who were musically inclined, unlike their peers,
That's pretty
would
sick.
grab various musical instruments on board the ship and dive into the world of folk soul music to keep things lively. Sailors who are more artistic than others often prefer painting and artwork or carving wooden parts of the vessel. Painters among the sailors would make use of whatever they could find on deck as their art resource.
Yeah, this definitely isn't the video I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I thought we'd get into more of the nightlife stuff.
The outcomes of such creative processes depend on the skills of such sailors and how well they can manage the limited resources presented to them. All U.S. Navy sailors are entitled to taking a leave. In total, a sailor earns 30 paid vacation days each year. To go on leave, a crew member must complete what is known as a CHIT. Then, this leave request form must be notarized by the next chain of command. All that's left is for the sailor's leave papers to be processed by the personnel department. In special occasions, crew members can borrow some days out of his not yet earned leave. Amongst sailors, this is known as going in the hole. It's not usually supported, but it's
Yeah, I've never
rarely
seen
happens.
that. I've never seen that
Sailors
happen.
can also go on liberty calls.
Yay.
During holidays and weekends, crew members can spend a maximum of 72 hours. Based on the defined range of a vessel's local area, a sailor can explore and must be able to return to the ship if called aboard immediately. Some warships have set their local area to be a 50-mile range, while others can go as high as 400 miles. Navy sailors are not allowed to take both leave and liberty calls at the same time. Cinderella Liberty demands that sailors return back to their vessels at a stipulated time. Sailors who are 3 weeks into accession training, known amongst Navy sailors as A School, have access to on-base liberty and they're under a strict curfew. As they approach the end of the...
It depends on what rate you're going into. Also, it could depend on your rank as well. Yeah, because some people in A School have already made they're switching rates, so they'll come and do a different job in the Navy, so they have to train for it. So, like, if you're a second class coming to A School, you're probably going to be allowed to do basically whatever you want, just about.
First 3 weeks and are going into the fourth week, sailors will start working towards off-base liberty, still under a curfew. The conditions of these liberty calls
look like
are
Okinawa.
determined by a crew member's commanding officer, and it can differ from time to time. It is, without a doubt, overwhelming to become a sailor in the United States Navy.
Well, I wouldn't go
A
that
recruit
far.
has to go through 8 weeks of rigorous
Yeah, I remember
training
that.
and exercises at Navy boot camps before being enlisted into Navy A School. Despite all this, the U.S. Navy still receives a huge number of applications every year. Once enlisted recruits are deployed, they must go through a harder time of learning the know-hows of being a sailor aboard any of the USN's warships. While carrying out their daily routines, they're allowed to take a break and enjoy
Yay,
other
jump
aspects
rope.
of being at sea.
Okay.
Now you know what U.S. sailors do on their off time. Hope you found the video informative.
Well, you know some
What
of
do you
it.
think about the various hobbies that these sailors enjoy to let some
I
steam
don't know,
off?
man. I really want
Are
to
there
jump
any
rope.
suggestions you would like to make? Let us all know about it in the comment section. For more engaging content about
All right. Well, there you go. Jump rope. No, that was just really weird. Yeah, you'll be able to do more fun stuff than that. Like when you get to if you're on a ship and you're in port somewhere else, like, you know, you'll have your fun in Japan and Korea and wherever else you decide to go. Japan, a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. Anyway, there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe down below. It does help the channel. If you're on mobile, hit the hype button or whatever you do over there. Call me a jerk in the comments. Tell me about the fun stuff you did. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and bye.